highest scoring players are automatically your starting lineup and count towards your team's overall fantasy point total. So you can't mess around with your roster.
No, and your roster has a total of 20 players. The roster positions are as follows. So 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, there's 1 flex, and then there are 12 beefy bros on your bench. But again, your highest scoring players each week are automatically stuffed into your starting lineup, which means, again, that your non-starting players each week will make up your bench, and their fantasy points will not count towards your team's overall fantasy point total. It's pretty easy to follow and makes a lot of sense.
All right, now let's jump into our draft here. So let's welcome in our 8 team captains, who are as follows. All right. DraftKings contributors, here's Dietrich, Jeff Ulrich. Look at them. Oh, my God. Reed Fowler, Jeff Pratt, Steve Buchanan, DraftKings content manager Shirag Hira, and DK Nation's Chinmay Vaidya and Colin Sherwin. Fellas, let's go.
All right, but wait. There's more. So we have this cute little referee in studio with us. So his name is Samir Daouk.
What a loser!
He's got a whistle. He is rocking his ref jersey. He has laundry, right, to toss if there's a penalty.
Yep.
So he's here to basically make sure that no one breaks any of the rules, or any of you nincompoops try to double up on any picks there, which I believe Pierce is going to try to do his best to keep track of everything. He's probably the smartest bookworm out of all the analysts on the screen.
Definitely.
Good call.
All
I think it's
Not true. Not true at all. It's Colin.
We got to go with the guy, guys. We got to go with the guy who reads books, who's got to do something difficult like that, because we cannot.
I mean, can confirm that everyone can read. Before we start actually drafting, though, let's just have a quick best ball strategy discussion for people at home who might not really understand what we're talking about. So it's similar to season long, like you said, but you can't really approach it the same way. Can you, Reed?
No, you can't. There's a little more strategy involved. I don't want to give everything away to these fools before we start the draft. Yeah. But look, I mean, it's a little more DFS than it is season long, right? You have to think of it that way. You obviously don't have to maintain your roster throughout the season. So drafting this day is the most important because it's the only day you get to choose your players. So it's a little different than season long in the sense that it's more DFS approach than the regular ones that we always do.
Jeff, anything to add without giving away any secrets about how you're going to be drafting here?
Yeah, Reed secrets. I'm just on the edge of my seat, Reed.
Jeff, where's your hat? I don't recognize you without a hat on.
It's best ball day. I got my
captain's
hat. When it's my turn to pick, pal, I'll put it on. Look, for best ball, one of the biggest things you need to understand is the roster sizes and how many of each position that you're drafting for. You need a structure. You need to structure your drafts. Because if you don't, if you're just out there, this guy looks good. I'll take another running back. You'll have the draft. You'll have 9 running backs, 5 wide receivers. DraftKings, it's important to know, we got 3 wide receiver positions, what the scoring is as well. And you try and structure your drafts. There's a lot of good draft strategies out there. 0 RB, anchor RB. You can go more robust RB strategy. Not something I like to do, but having a strategy going into a best ball draft is a big thing, and knowing the roster size as well.
All right, Bukes, what might you value more in a player when selecting in a best ball draft versus, let's say, a season long?
Well, yeah, too, one of the strategies you can implement, I don't mind, the secrets, Reed doesn't want to disclose, but, stacking is something that's very important in best ball, getting some of these guys on the same team. If you can get a Josh Allen and then maybe a Gabriel Davis or Stephon Diggs, stacking these guys, especially in best ball is super important to be doing so. So I think that's something you really need to be looking at too, whereas maybe not as important in taking that in season long.
Okay, Chinmay, what do you think here, dude?
Yeah, I think all the strategies that you would use in any regular fantasy football league, you can take bits and pieces of them to put into best ball. I think one thing that I really look for is high variance players, guys who can do nothing one week, but then absolutely, blow the top off the next week. Those are the types of guys that maybe you don't take right away in best ball, but you stash on your bench so that you can get some of those high scoring variance weeks in there that maybe you wouldn't take in your regular fantasy football draft. So that's definitely something that I would look for here when filling out best ball roster.
Okay, real quick, for someone who's thinking of doing best ball for the first time here, Pierce, like, what should they avoid to keep their draft from being just an absolute disaster?
Well, the thing that I'm trying to avoid to keep the draft from being an absolute disaster is making sure I keep track of these picks. So don't ask me any complicated questions. Focus mainly on everything. I watched some YouTube videos, feeling pretty good.
All right, Jeff with the J. Anything?
Yeah, I know. It's pretty wild.
I think, just like Pierce said, keeping track of your picks, you want to make sure depth is more key in best ball than any other type of redraft format. Whereas in regular redraft, you might be taking one quarterback, two quarterbacks. You want to have the depth there because injuries happen. So just keeping track of players who are not injury prone, taking high upside players late. Just like Pierce said, keeping track of your picks too.
Well, we have our ref to make sure.
Yeah, we
that
certainly
you
do.
guys
And he is already side texting me
crazy.
expletives actually right now in studio, which is not good. That's not good, referee dude.
When will you learn?
Collusion afoot.
All right, you guys all saw the video yesterday. We drafted. We selected
draft.
everybody's names out of a hat. This is the order of the draft, snake draft format. We're only drafting 8 positions. Otherwise, we'd be here like all day, and nobody wants that. Steve Buchanan doesn't want to be here all day. He doesn't want to be here right now for 5 minutes. And we're going to discuss how to fill out your roster at the end of the show. But Colin Sherwin, congratulations. You are on the clock. You have the first overall pick in the DK Analyst Best Ball Draft. We are so happy that you are here. You are in Las Vegas. You look like crap, but we need you to select number 1 overall.
And so you're going to have like a minute per pick. And so make your pick, and then you can give like 45 seconds of reasoning behind it. So we do have to like kind of, roll through these.
On the clock.
All right. Our refs can keep us on
Look
track.
at this. Producer Cofield, everybody. Producer
I'm just
Cofield.
saying.
All right,
so
Colin,
guys,
go ahead, dude.
I am ready to roll here. Good morning to everyone. It is 7:30 in Las Vegas. You can imagine, if you can look at me, how my day went yesterday. But I am here with the first pick in the 2022 DraftKings basketball fantasy draft. I'm going to take Jonathan Taylor just because I like to watch him play in college.
Wow.
Look, let me be real honest here. I'm going to pick players that I enjoyed watching play college football. I am sort of the random person in your draft. I am Sally in accounting, who has somehow found her way into your best ball league. And I just sort of take players who I think could be potentially high upside. I like the NFL, but I don't watch nearly as much of the NFL as I do college. I will also take a lot of Philadelphia Eagles if they are available, just like
beautiful.
Sally in accounting will. So, even though I'm wearing like a Lightning hat right now, I'm an Eagles fan, so figure that out. But yeah, I'm taking Jonathan Taylor here. Anything to get, if whenever you get rid of Carson Wentz, you're going to be a better football team. And I feel like he's going to get a lot of carries this year. So yeah, give me Jonathan Taylor.
All right.
Whoa. Wait,
Done.
was that the whistle?
Yeah, that was the whistle. But he wrapped up his pick, so we're good. Now we're going to move on to Jeff. Jeff with a G
Yes.
is picking next. You're on the clock. Jeff.
Flashbacks to my grade 3 teacher not knowing how to pronounce my name. Okay. Colin, I thought you were going to pick Nikita Kucherov there for a second, but you stuck to the NFL. That's good. I'm going to go slightly off the board here. I think that because this is an 8-man draft, I'm going to mix up my strategy a bit. We got full PPR scoring on DraftKings. My number 1 wide receiver is Justin Jefferson. That's who I'm going to take with the number 2 overall pick. I'm going to bypass the obvious number 2 running back who's ranked second.
Wow.
My guy, Justin Jefferson, working with the Sean McVay disciple at head coach and Kevin O'Connell this year. I think this guy's going to absolutely be a slot machine for DraftKings. 100-yard games left and right, upping the target total even from last year. I got him projected for. So I'm into the Justin Jefferson hype, and I think there's some strategy involved here in an 8-man league. There's going to be some nice RBs dropping back to me in my second-round pick. Give me Justin Jefferson, the second overall pick here. Again, you got to look at the scoring, guys. PPR, go with the wide receiver.
All right.
So I'm done. Okay,
Reed sounded upset about that. Reed
Read secrets.
He's
Read
next.
secrets.
No, I'm just saying that Jeff's waiting for Tevin Coleman in round 5. It's not really going to happen there, Jeffrey. Like it's like waiting on running back. Good luck, pal.
All right, Reed,
Yeah, no,
you're on the clock.
Reed,
Yeah,
so Reed, who do you want?
If he's not going to take him, I'll take him. Christian McCaffrey. This is pretty easy. Look,
Yeah.
top 3 pick. Look, I get it. Austin Eckler is right there. He's fine. PPR scoring, like Jeff mentioned, but everyone thinks that this guy is injury prone. But let's say, what if he's not? I mean, clearly was the number 1 fantasy player over the past 2 years. And he just got hurt, right? That's just, he's only played 10 games in the last 2 seasons. I get that. So the variance is completely there. But if we're talking about PPR scoring, who's better than Christian McCaffrey? And guess what? Who else is going to get that ball? Is it going to be DJ Moore? Fine, but it's Baker Mayfield. Give me Christian McCaffrey. It's pretty simple. Enough said.
All right, Shirag Hira, first time we will hear your voice here on this show. You are on the clock at number 4 overall. Who do you want?
This is a tough decision. I wanted to get a wide receiver, speaking of, PPR scoring, but thanks for dropping Austin Eckler to me. This is a simple pick. He is a absolute machine, receiving out of the backfield, catching the balls and rushing the balls. He's going to score double-digit touchdowns this year, over 1,000 total receiving and rushing yards. I have no problem taking this one with the high upside.
All right. I like that. Wow. That's record time for a selection. Is it not, Mr. Referee?
Yeah. All right.
Let's go.
You
pump it.
You can't talk. You don't have a mic.
All right. Moving on to our resident nerd, Pierce, with the number 5 overall pick. Who you going with?
I'm going to go down the board a little bit, possibly, and take Jamar Chase. Think there's a lot more upside. I think Cooper Kupp's probably a safer pick, but I like what the Bengals have done with their offensive line. You saw the massive numbers that he put up in his rookie season, and really basically the rookie season for Joe Burrow as well. Now they've improved that offensive line. I think there's a lot more ceiling here for Jamar Chase, and we probably have seen as much as we're going to get from Kupp. So I'll take Chase.
Kind of scary there is that his catch rate and red zone work can actually improve in year 2. So the gritty is what he's going to be breaking out even more this year.
The glizzy is what he's going to be breaking out. The glizzy.
No, the gritty, Reed. The
gritty. Reed, you gotta get on TikTok, okay, and do more. You gotta do more. You gotta understand what the kid.
I gotta talk to Glass more. He's a TikTok guy, and Steve knows this.
Okay, guys. All right, we're drafting.
We're going way out there.
Stick
to the plan.
All right,
Steve, number 6.
Are you taking Cooper Kupp?
Yeah, I mean, I was not expecting Cooper Kupp to be available in this spot, but we got some weird picks already. We're in the first round. That's fine. I'll be the one to benefit from this, from the guy who had over 300 receiving yards, more than anybody else in the league last year, was almost at 2,000 total receiving yards last year, 1,947. Obviously a catching fiend as well, catching 76% of his of targets. Of course, obviously there's a lot of buzz going around about Matthew Stafford's elbow, how that's going to hold up all throughout the season. But if you're here at number 6, like I am, Cooper Kupp is still on the board. It would be asinine to go anywhere else at this rate. So give me Cooper Kupp. That's going to be my guy here at number 6.
Crazy that Kupp dropped to 6. All right. Chinmay with the 7th overall pick. Who are you going to be taking?
Yeah, this is actually a very interesting pick, in my opinion, just because of the PPR format. But I think I have to go with the guy who is going to be, barring injuries. Again, you can't predict injuries, and he had one last year that took him off pace for what would have been a career number of touches. I'm going to go with Tennessee Titans running back Derrick Henry. I think he's just the safest running back on the board in terms of injury. He had one last year. I know it was more of a freak injury. I think he's going to bounce back in a big way this year, and he's going to be on pace for, again, career number of touches. So give me Derrick Henry from Tennessee.
He's feeling pretty good, too. Just received a $2 million raise for this season yesterday. Basically, who the Titans will be leaning on. So let's go. We're going to round out the first round of this best ball draft now with the final pick, which will be Jeff Pratt.
I'd like to start off by saying I would like to speak to the league office about this selection. The youngest guy getting the last pick. I'm not sure. There's something a little fishy there. I'm going to go with a pair of young guys, though, to round out the turn here. I'll start off with, I got my pick of running backs, and I love to go running back heavy to start drafts, whether it's best ball, redraft, you name it. I'm going to go with Naji Harris, someone who I think could compete with Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry to have the most carries in the NFL this year. I understand there are some reservations about Naji Harris. He's coming off a Liz Frank injury. We don't know exactly how healthy he is. but volume's king in fantasy football, and he's going to see a ton of it. So I'm going to go with Naji.
All right. So with this being a snake draft format, my dude, you get back-to-back picks. Sounds like you want to go.
You said another young guy.
Yeah. You want to go back-to-back running backs? Is that what the game plan is here?
I do. I'm going to go back-to-back running backs, and I'm going to take another young guy. I'm passing up on, I think, a clear top running back on the board here is just a little bit older. Maybe in place of, I'm going to take DeAndre Swift. I'm going to go with the Lions running back here. It's PPR format, as you guys have been talking about. Swift is, in my opinion, the best dual threat running back on the board still. I understand Dalvin Cook is still there, but the Vikings, Justin Jefferson's there, Adam Thielen's there. DeAndre Swift, yes, he struggled with injuries for a little bit last year, but he might be the most dynamic playmaker left on the board. I understand I went a little bit down on the board here, but I'm happy with the running backs I took. I think these young guys are going to see a ton of volume, both on the ground and through the air out of the backfield. So a little bit down the board, but I got my two guys.
Yeah, passing Dalvin Cook, Mixon, Kamara, Chubb, Aaron Jones, James Conner.
All right, let's move on. Chinmay, now because snake draft, we're back to you. You've already taken a running back in Derrick Henry. Who are you going with now?
Well, I honestly didn't think he was going to be there after the turn, but he is, and I think I have to take him best player available. So I'm going to go with Dalvin Cook in this one. Even with Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen there, I still think Cook gets tremendous volume. The Vikings are taking trade calls on Alex Madison, so that tells me that they really have faith in Cook being that true three-down back and having high volume this season. So I'm going to go with the Vikings running back Dalvin Cook in the second round.
Steve, do you double up with another wide receiver at 6 here? Some huge names still on the board.
Yeah, there is some big names here, but I'm still pretty intrigued with taking Travis Kelce here. Obviously, without Tyreek Hill no longer in the mix, he is with the Dolphins and Tua. Now we got Travis Kelce as he's always kind of been the 1B in this offense anyways, right? So now he has an opportunity to be that 1A. Obviously, Juju Smith is going to be in the mix too as well, but Patrick Mahomes knows his guy Travis Kelce, an absolute monster in the red zone as well. Really, it's between Kelce and Andrews as the top two tight ends in the league right now, but I think Kelce in this firepower Chiefs offense, I think that's the right play to make at this one here in the second round. And also, I didn't want to upset Reed because I know he's clamoring. He's hoping he's going to get Devonta Adams, his boyfriend, now in Las Vegas. He's going to be so upset if he doesn't get Devonta Adams. I don't have a grudge against Reed. If I did, I would have taken Devonta Adams right here, but no grudge against Reed, so I'll just take Kelce.
Pierce, are you going to take Devonta Adams to stick it to Reed?
No, I wouldn't do that to Reed. I just want it. I'm going to take Alvin Kamara. I expect big things from the Saints offense. We could see them return to the earlier 2020, 2019 form now that they've got Michael Thomas back, a solid receiving core. Jameis Winston might throw some interceptions, but you've got a quarterback that can throw the ball downfield. Kamara's absolutely destroying the league with touchdowns and rushing and PPR. I consider Joe Mixon, but having Jamar Chase on my team as well, I got to diversify a little bit, so I'm going to go with Alvin Kamara.
All right, Chirag, 13th pick here in our best ball draft. You are the last person who could steal Devonta Adams before Reed will pick at 14.
Do it, just for it.
Nah. Don't have to snipe him. You guys are literally giving me the best wide receiver left on the board and probably the best wide receiver this season. He has the quarterback that is the top MVP candidate. This is an easy pick. Come on, give me Stephon Diggs.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wow. Stephon Diggs. And then I believe his quarterback is still available as well, Reed T. Fowler. But you go ahead, take Devonta Adams. You won't do it, you coward.
Jeff with the soft J took my guy. I thought DeAndre Swift was definitely going to fall. That's why I didn't take Austin Eckler, because I do think he is that guy this season. So, kudos to soft J Jeff there. And look,
is it a soft J?
Is
my J the soft J?
It's Jeff. I call him Jeff. But
I was thinking that in my head.
But yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. I mean, you gotta play fantasy football with your heart, right? Like Colin is saying, pick the guys you like to watch. I'm gonna be cheering for him every Sunday anyway, Monday in primetime games. Let's go Devonta Adams. Yes, the downgrade. Absolutely. He absolutely has a downgrade at quarterback. We all know this. But Derek Carr is a sleeper on a lot of teams. or a lot of fantasy consensus ADP. So give me him. I know there's Waller. I know there's Renfro, but Devonta Adams is still right there. Sherrod, you took Stephon Diggs from me. I would have chose him, but let's go with Adams.
Good. I needed to snipe you. I knew that was coming.
Let's go with Adams.
All right.
Jeff Ulrich, 15th overall here. What are the chances of quarterbacks coming off the board for the first time?
About 0 and less than 0.
I'll
be honest. I'm picking like at the turn here, and we got live wire behind me. So I'm trying to figure out what's in Colin's mind here. He mentioned the Eagles. I don't really know what's going on. So I'm going to go with a strategy I love to do, and that's pay up at tight end. I'm going to go with Mark Andrews for my pick here.
Wow.
And just getting him off the board. People, there is a big gap between the top 2-3 tight ends, in my opinion. And you can make up a lot by going elite at tight end. I'm taking Mark Andrews. I got him projected above Travis Kelce this year. He's attached to a great quarterback in Lamar. He's basically the wide receiver 1 for his team. Give me Mark Andrews. I'm going to get a big edge on all these other losers here by paying up a tight end.
Kelce back at 11.
Just an act. I love you all.
Have fun with Jeff.
Colin, we're back to you. You have Jonathan Taylor with the first pick. Now we have our 16th and 17th picks. Where are you going?
I am at the turn. Okay, so first of all, again, to stick with the players I loved in college strategy, right now just happens to be at the top of the board. I'm going to actually reach a little bit here for a guy that I love. I think I'm getting him a little bit more earlier, but I don't want to wait until the next turn, 45 minutes from now. So I'm going to take Kyle Pitts, who's the best college tight end I ever saw. That guy is unbelievable.
Wow.
His ability to catch in space is just next level. And I still don't think, having watched enough of that of the Falcons, I still don't think they're using him correctly. He's the best college tight end that ever lived, and he needs to get the ball as much as possible and be posting up the linebackers. Just get that guy in an offense that can play. Just even at marginal, he's incredible. The other one I'm going to take CeeDee Lamb, because I need a wide receiver before they all start going off the board. And CeeDee Lamb was one of the most explosive players ever in the history of the University of Oklahoma. So, again, sticking to my strategy, take college guys that were really good that haven't quite been utilized the way that you need to in the NFL. And those are two guys that can just break at any time because their raw talent is unbelievable. Weird strategy, I know.
You're banking on Kyle.
Weird strategy.
Yeah. You're banking on Kyle Pitts to score more than one touchdown this year.
Yes, I am, because Kyle Pitts, again, it is not on him. That guy is unbelievable. That is a freak show talent.
I can't wait till I text Colin next year to be in every single one of my fantasy drafts.
I wouldn't, please, buddy. If we were paying money, if there was cash coming up here, I would not be involved.
DK bucks, man. Yeah, crowns.
We'll play.
Oh wow,
we should do it for the golf ball.
So,
we should do it for the golf.
Okay, so you're telling me you're not taking this seriously then? You're ridiculous.
I'm completely.
You shouldn't be here.
I am completely.
Okay.
Go walk downstairs and play the slap.
Throw the penalty flag.
Throw the flag. Throw the flag. This is ridiculous. Yeah.
I took the top wide receiver available, and I took the top tight end available. So I did not go that far off the board, but the reasons I took them were a little bit speculative.
I love Sherwin's Kyle Pitts pick. That's who I think.
I can't wait. I'm not waiting.
Tight end bros.
All right. You guys, let's get back on the rails here. Jeff, you have the 18th pick, and we're going to go back to you, Jeff, with a G.
Yep. I've told people I got a strategy here, and you got to have a strategy going in. And I'm going to make these guys pay. They've all been just ignoring the wide receiver position. Oh, I'm just going to take my running backs and load up. Guess what? I'm going to go off a little bit off the board. We're going to go down. We're going to get A.J. Brown with the Philadelphia Eagles. We are stacking the wide receiver talent here, people, with the tight ends. It's PPR format. A.J. Brown is going to see a bajillion targets this year. All reports out of camp, he's just getting targeted at will. This guy can dominate number one cornerbacks. He's got Jalen Hurts now instead of weak-armed, noodle-armed Ryan Tannehill to throw him the ball. Jalen Hurts underrated passer as well. Give me A.J. Brown here. Stack him with Justin Jefferson. What a start. I've already won this league. It's amazing. We're only 3 rounds in.
Wow. Congratulations to this man.
Fowler, who do you want here at 19? 19.
I'm just saying all the players are going. There's only 8 people in this draft, buddy. There's a million people left. So look, I mean, Joe Mixon is still there. I get it. This is going to be silly, but like Jeff was saying, volume is king. And this guy, I know I have an injury-related team right now, but I'm going Saquon Barkley. If you can get someone who's potentially going to be a 3-down back this year, or in fantasy football moving forward, that is gold. So give me Saquon Barkley. I love Brian Daboll coming over. I think a lot of people like the Giants to overproduce from last season, hopefully. So give me Saquon.
All right, Chirag, you got Austin Eckler, you got Stephon Diggs. Who are you taking with your 20th pick of the draft?
I sniped Reed on the Stephon Diggs pick. He sniped me on the Barkley pick.
Easy.
So I'm going to go with Tyreek Hill here. I think going to a new team, Jalen Waddell is dealing with an injury. We don't know how significant it is. So I believe that all this hype that, Tyreek Hill has been praising on Twitter and every interview possible about Tua. Let's go. Let's see Tua and this offense really take the next level here. And I believe Tyreek Hill has that ability to blow the top off of the team, of the league. Come on. There's a chance here. He's going to carry me to the promised land.
Yeah, that guy has talked more and more since he has joined Miami than ever before, saying Patrick Mahomes is not as accurate as Tua. And I know that upsets Chiefs super fan Pierce Dietrich, who's up next at 21 overall.
Joe Mixon's still there, but I can't do it. It doesn't make any sense. I'm going to go with Keenan Allen. I want the receivers. He's the safest play on the board. We know that the Chargers are just going to get better. They may not win games, but they've got a great quarterback. They've got a great offense. They're going to move the ball. Allen has had no drop-off. All these other players, there's slight questions. I just don't see any questions. I'll take the safe floor with Keenan Allen.
Pierce with the mutual fund team.
It's a 2.5.
You need it. You need it in your
That's
portfolio.
good.
You need it.
Very safe. Very safe. Steve, you got Cooper Kupp, superstar, Travis Kelce, superstar. Who are you taking with the 22nd pick?
Yeah, this is just going to be Stevie Superstar. That should just be the name of this team when all is said and done. I kind of look at the board what's left, at least for me. I'm trying to figure what makes sense. And I think Josh Allen at this spot, kind of kicking off the quarterback spot is where I want to go here. Obviously, back-to-back QB1 of the past 2 years, that dual threat. He's going to get it done through the air, get it done on the ground. And then love the emergence of Gabriel Davis late in the year, too. Gives him a legitimate wide receiver, too. Like it was, Cole Beasley, Manuel Sanders. I mean, get these bums out of here. Get a legitimate weapon in this offense like Gabriel Davis to go with on the other side of Diggs. This offense is going to absolutely destroy anything in his past this upcoming year. The man who's going to be on the helm of that is Josh Allen. You want to talk? I mean, Jeff keeps talking about how good his team is. Has he looked at the board? Has he looked at what I have on here so far? Allen, Kelce, Kupp, please. No shot at this one. Draft is over. I got this. Stevie Superstar.
I mean, Steve's team is looking pretty good.
Draft is over as
pretty good.
I can't. Emerson, he's right. I mean, your guy Gabe Davis, just an absolute game changer. Like I 100%. I absolutely just as a football. I watched a lot of Buffalo.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
Built by UCF, which covered the 42.5 point spread last night against South Carolina State. Chinmay, you're up now. 23rd overall. You have 2 running backs right now currently on your roster. You got to go in a different direction here. First quarterback is now off the board.
I don't know that I really have to go in a different direction here. We do have a flex
spot. That's fun,
there are
pal.
some great running backs still on the board.
Expert.
And actually, Pierce took my wide receiver. I was looking at Keenan Allen. I thought he would slip to me. The top tight ends are kind of off the board. I was hoping one of them might have fallen, but wishful thinking there. I'm going to stick with the running back trend, and this guy was really good to me last year in fantasy football, so I'm going to give him another shot this year. And I can't believe he's still here, but I'm going to go with Joe Mixon, and I'm going to slot him in my flex spot. And let's keep it going. So give me the Bengals running back. Give me Joe Mixon here in the 3rd round.
And save some running backs for the rest of them.
Joe Shiesty said, hey, if you're going to play too deep, Joe Mixon is there.
All right. Jeff
Pratt.
Normal spelling is up now.
Yeah, with the 24th and 25th pick. So why don't you take us away, buddy? Where are you going with these 2 picks?
Watch me follow Chinmay and take a 3rd running back off the board right now. I don't need any other position. I would have taken Joe Mixon if he had fallen to me, by the way. That's great value. I don't understand why you guys kept passing on him. Well, I do to an extent, but
I'm trying to win
in the draft. Steve, you don't have a running back.
Exactly. That's why I'm winning.
He's going to trade. Okay. He's going to trade, Jeff.
Yeah. You want my running backs? It's going to take all of your team. I'm going to take a running back who's probably going to serve as his team's wide receiver 1 this year, and Aaron Jones for the Green Bay Packers. I've heard enough of this Allen Lazard nonsense. The guy can't stay on the field, and even when he does, he's not really a fantastic player. So Aaron Jones, we're going to see a lot of dual split backfields between Jones and AJ Dillon this year. Jones is going to line up in the slot plenty. He's just going to be a volume monster, as I keep talking about it. Volume is king. He's not only going to see a ton of carries, he's going to see a ton of receptions as well. So I'm going to take Aaron Jones as my 3rd running back off the board. And then I will finally take a wide receiver here. I'm going to take Tom Brady's trusted number 1 target in Mike Evans. He's the only wide receiver in NFL history to open his career with 8 straight 1,000-yard seasons, and that's not going to stop this year. Chris Godwin's banged up to start the season. Brady hasn't shown signs of slowing down at this point in his career. I think there are certainly questions about whether he's completely engaged with the Bucs right now. That being said, when he takes the field, he's still Tom Brady, and Mike Evans is still his number 1 target, especially in the red zone with no Rob Gronkowski this year.
So I'm happy with him. With Rob, Gronk's going to come back like in week 9. You know this, right?
Yeah, I agree. Until then, though, Mike Evans will be his red zone target. Although Tom Brady, some trouble in paradise, according to the New York Post.
Yeah, because that is just where we get all of our facts from.
Hey, hold on. I am, as Tom Brady's neighbor, I am in Las Vegas right now, but I am Tom Brady's neighbor. If you hit like a driver and like another driver and then like another driver, my house is that close to his house. And if I will go by and I'm going to see what's going on, because it doesn't there seems like there's a little trouble. I haven't seen him at the Starbucks lately, and I'm just saying it could be. It could be bad.
All right, Colin's going to do some investigative reporting.
There's just some investigative journalism here.
Colin, hold on. Who's hitting the driver? Is it like me or is it our little referee over here?
No,
that's like 15 drivers for Jeff.
Yeah,
it's 1 for Samir.
No, you take that. You take it back.
Get him out of here, Samir.
We're all aware.
Ejection.
All right.
Yeah, throw him out. Throw him out for that.
Okay.
That was unnecessary.
Honest, you've been ejected. Leave, Emerson. Get out.
Let's go bowling.
All right. We're moving on. Chinmay, you have the 26th pick. Emerson has left the building. Where are you going? You got Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon. What do we want for the 26th pick?
Yeah, so I'm out of running back spots, unfortunately. So it looks like I'm going to have to go with the receiver here. Colin, the reason Tom Brady's not at the Starbucks anymore is he actually cut that out of the TB12 diet. That's not in the game plan.
Oh, it's inflammatory coffee. Yeah.
I'm going to go with a guy who's going to get high volume in an offense that should be better this year with Trey Lance taking over full time. I'm going to go with Deebo Samuel in the 4th round here. I think this is great value. He's going to get touches out of the backfield as well. PPR format, I don't really see Ayuk stepping up as much as he did. There was a lot of hype around Ayuk last year. I think that's going to remain kind of muted. And Kittle is injury prone. So I'm going to go with Deebo Samuel as the most reliable guy in that offense. Give me Deebo in round 4.
All right, Stevie Superstar with the 27th pick. I mean, you got a wide receiver, you got a tight end, you got a QB. Are we going to take a running back here?
Well, Jeff's trying to bully me into taking an RB, and that's okay. I mean, I've already envisioned this entire draft, and every guy that I want is falling right into my lap, and we're here once again. So I'm going to take the first running back on Superstar Stevie's team. Get it right, Jesse. That's going to get a flag next time. We're going to take Nick Chubb as my first running back in this one here. I mean, granted, there's a lot going on with the Browns, and nothing that I can talk about in a public forum because it's not appropriate. But at least we'll talk about something that is appropriate, and that's how good that Browns offensive line is going to be. That has been one of their strengths, giving lanes for Nick Chubb to be running through. He's obviously one of the most efficient running backs in the league. And not only that, I mean, when you're having, Jacoby the Brissett that's going to be the starting quarterback here? Yeah, they're probably going to be relying upon the running game more than they need to. So give me Nick Chubb. Should be getting plenty of opportunities here in front of that really strong offensive line. That's my guy here.
I have been released from the sin bin.
Yeah.
I am back, and I respect our referee.
And you can get sent back. So why don't you just stick to your job, okay?
Yes, ma'am. 28th overall, Pierce Dietrich. Johnny reads a lot of books.
Oh, my God.
Sorry.
Leave again.
I don't know. I know.
Very clever. You obviously read a lot of books, so.
No.
Many leather-bound books.
Not
smell
the pictures,
mahogany.
Pierce. He doesn't read.
He graduated. He graduated.
I'm like LeBron James. If you see me read it, if you see me reading a book, I'm like 2 pages
Yeah,
in.
there's that UCF 5-year education coming out. All right.
Florida Ivy League.
5 years to graduate college. Still haven't seen a diploma, to be honest. But
I got
anyway,
nothing.
Michael Pittman, upgraded quarterback, they've upgraded their wide receiver core. They've got a great running back. I think we haven't even seen him peak Michael Pittman yet. This offense is going to move the ball. It's in a pretty bad division. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are in that same division, so the Colts shouldn't have any problem scoring points against some of the bums they're going to face off against. So Michael Pittman Jr.
It's a good pick. Michael Pittman.
We don't need the commentary from you.
Is it really that good of a pick, though? I'm not quite sure. Shirag, 29. Where are you going?
I'm in pain right now. I'm in a lot of pain right now.
Shirag agrees.
That was my pick. That was my pick right there. Feeling sniped again. So I will have to go down and stack up to a running back, Javonte Williams. I believe he's going to be an elite running back this year. Russell Wilson coming to that offense. Sure, Cortland Sutton's getting a bunch of hype. Sure, these other wide receivers, Albert O as their tight end. Come on, man. They're going to run the ball. You know Russell Wilson knows how to operate an offense that can run the ball. He's going to get red zone touches. He'll get catches out of the backfield. This is an easy pick, Javonte Williams.
All right, easy pick. Reed, do you have an easy pick for number 30?
No, but I have an easy suggestion for Emerson. Those Goosebumps books, those choose your ending, turn to page 80 to choose your ending. That's good for you.
I was thinking maybe like the Boxcar
If you
Kid.
think I made it to page 80 in any Goosebump book.
Or like a coloring book for Emerson.
We have something with a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
So really quick story there. It was really cool to collect those as kids. So obviously I wanted to be cool and collect them. So I'd come home from these Scholastic book fairs, $20. My parents this is so great. You're getting into this. And I didn't open up a single one.
Yeah. We're not surprised.
Great story.
We're going to get a flat. Is there a flag? Delay of game. We don't have time for quick stories. This isn't about you. All right, Reed, the 30th pick of the draft.
Sorry, Jess, that's my fault. It's all about Emerson. Look, there's a lot of places you can go. I think T. Higgins is fantastic, but I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go a little bit older. I'm going to skew a little bit older. Again, volume is king. Give me Uncle Leo. Give me Lombardi Leo, Leonard Fournette right here in this spot.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody else taking that role. I know he's 320 pounds coming into the season. But I do think that comes down. Get on the TB12 diet. So give me Uncle Lenny. He's going to get all the carries, all the goal line touches, passing out of the backfield, you name it.
Hell yeah, brother. Jeff, 31. Talk to me, Goose.
All right, Emerson. I know I've been tough on you on this show, but this is where we reunite. I don't know what Sherwin's got up his sleeve, so I got to take the running back that's fallen to me here. It's not really fallen to me, but that I want here. It's Travis Etienne of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ooh.
Yes, friends. He's going to be on the field. He's going to be catching passes. Yes, the Jaguars. He's going to be everywhere. Doug Peterson's going to use this guy a lot. I know James Robinson is in the mix again, but James Robinson's coming off an Achilles injury. He's probably not even going to be out there for week 1. So we can't project this guy. Etienne is the future of this franchise. He's the guy who's going to be heavy usage. And you know what? It doesn't really matter how good the Jacksonville Jaguars are this year because he's going to get used in the pass game. They're behind. He's going to be on the field. They're in front. He's probably going to be split out wide. I really do like Etienne. And if you are building best ball drafts like I am, where you're going heavy receiver early, this guy has been falling. He's a great one to start off with. The full PPR format, again, really favors him. Give me Travis Etienne as my first running back off the board here.
Hell yeah, X factor for that team. And had he played last year, they would have won at least 4 games.
Oh, wow. Big things happening. All right, Colin, we're back to you with the 32nd and 33rd picks. So which former college superstars are you going with?
So I'm going to actually take a little bit of – first of all, Zeke Elliott was an unbelievable college player, but we're going to take him here just because we think that he fits kind of well in what Kellen Moore's trying to do in Dallas. And also, I need a bracket because, like, quite frankly, I went 2 non-running backs in round 1 or in rounds 2 and 3. So I need to get another running back on my board. The other guy I'm going to go with is Patrick Mahomes. I feel like coming into this season that without Tyreek Hill, he not only has something to prove, but there's still plenty of weapons on that Chiefs offense. Also, I need to get a quarterback on this board. I just like him a little bit ahead of Herbert. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go with Mahomes and Zeke Elliott. I think both guys have the potential on any given week to put up massive numbers. And in a best ball format, that's kind of what you're looking for. So yeah, those are my 2 picks.
All right.
Hello?
What's next?
Did I lose everybody?
Yeah.
Those were his 2 picks.
I went twice.
That's what I'm saying.
I went twice.
What's next is Jeff.
I'm
I'm not talking to you. You be quiet. Jeff Ulrich.
Good picks, Colin. It's okay. I'll host the show as well. Okay, I'm going back. I've taken my 1 running back. I feel better about myself. We're going back to the wide receiver position. I'm going to take another wide receiver 1, another big target, another guy who got a massive, and I do mean massive, quarterback upgrade this year. He's playing in that thin Denver air. He's going to catch a million red zone targets. He's going to have a million red zone targets from one of the best deep ball passes in the league. It's Cortland Sutton of the Denver Broncos. Let's ride here. Again, I just think this guy has all types of potential. He stays on the field with Russell Wilson for 17 games. You know what's going to happen. Russell Wilson has supported a top 15 wide receiver every year since 2015. Every year. This is automatic. Give me Cortland Sutton here. Again, I already got 3 big name wide receivers on my board. I don't have a fancy team name like Steve's yet, but I'll think of one by the end of the draft.
Yeah, so Jeff, you got Justin Jefferson, Mark Andrews, A.J. Brown, Travis Etienne, Cortland Sutton, Reed Fowler, 35th overall in this best ball draft. Who is your man?
Oh, okay. You ended your sentence. I can't wait for Pierce to talk about how Russell Wilson is absolutely toast and dust in a little bit. So I'll leave that diatribe to him. I didn't think T. Higgins was going to be here. I mentioned him my last pick, but he's here. I'm going to take T. Higgins. This guy actually, the hot take here, he could probably outscore Jamar Chase. You look at what he did and towards the end of that season last year. Like, Jamar Chase is the better athlete. He's a better wide receiver by all intents and purposes. But look at what they did with T. Higgins. If everyone's shadowing coverage or moving coverage over to Jamar Chase, T. Higgins is that guy. And we know Shiesty loves him. So give me T. Higgins.
All right. No, go ahead. Sorry.
We're supposed to go back and forth. That's kind of how we've been doing this. So we're going to go to our 36th pick.
Wait. We have a flag on the play? No. But we do have our 36th pick with Shirag. Shirag, did somebody snipe your picks? You've been saying, everyone's sneaking in here. So what? Keep saying how sick you are.
Not on this one.
Okay.
So with the format that we have, it's 3 wide receivers, and that is the reason why I'm going to be picking another one here. I believe Mike Williams, he had a top 12 year last year. He's going to be the crux of this offense, going to dominate. Sure, Keenan Allen's probably going to get 100 targets and Austin Eckler, but I'm stacking in an unorthodox way and going Mike Williams and Austin Eckler on my team.
Okay, cool. Pierce, 37. You got Jamar Chase, Kamara, Allen, Pittman. You need a quarterback.
Not quite yet. I'll stick with my mutual fund theme and play it safe. And I'll take the not flashy, not amazing running back, but the safe running back that's going to get a ton of work, that gets a ton of touchdown carries in an offense that leans on the running back more than you expect. James Conner.
There we go.
Not a great running back, but we know he's going to be out there a lot. We know he's going to get tons of red zone carries, and he's about as safe as it gets at this point.
2% return, Pierce.
This is us. It's a season-long rivalry between Reed T. Fowler and Jeff Ulrich. Is always like, is James Conner elite? Like, every single week they battle about it, and every single week Reed is right.
Okay, Steve. Superstar Steve, right?
And he's got a player. He's got a player in each position so far. He's got a wide receiver, tight end. He's got a quarterback. He's got a running back.
So with the 38th pick, where are we going, Steve?
Defense. For Stevie Superstar. That team.
Stevie Superstar.
Right. You start with the shorter word first. Stevie Superstar. We're gonna go with DJ Moore. Okay. After Reed loses Christian McCaffrey after week 2, there's gonna be plenty of targets going in DJ Moore's direction. I mean, look at this rate. Like he's played with like the worst quarterbacks in the league. Like they all just somehow rotated with Carolina over the past couple of years. Is Baker Mayfield like the guy that's gonna be the savior for this team? Yet to be seen, but at least we can say Moore has still been efficient, even with the bad quarterbacks that he's had. Over 1,100 receiving yards in each of the past 3 years. This is somebody who, if you can start getting more in the red zone, this pick could pay off really handsomely at this rate here. But Baker Mayfield at least feel a little bit better than what we've had in the past year. So give me DJ Moore as my second wide receiver.
DJ Moore. Chinmay, 39th selection. That's what you're making right now.
I really do like the DJ Moore pick, and that was actually who I was going to go with if he had fallen to me here. Like Reed said earlier, sometimes you take guys that you really like, and Devonta Adams was one of my guys. So I do think he's going to have a heavy impact in Las Vegas with Derek Carr, and I think that's really going to benefit the guy I'm going to take here. I'm going to take Darren Waller, tight end for the Raiders. Going to get better matchups. He's coming off a little bit of a contract dispute, which was masked with hamstring designation, I believe. But now that's all sorted out. I think Darren Waller's ready to roll, and give me the Raiders tight end, who should get plenty of volume and some more favorable matchups now with Devonta Adams in Las Vegas.
You sprayed a little Lysol on it, Chinmay, and then he got all better.
Yeah, it's interesting. What he signed with a big agent? Was it Rosenhaus he signed with? And all of a sudden, like the hamstring's feeling a lot better.
Theragun.
I love
therapy. It's fine. Well, Theragun. It's fine.
Yeah, dude. Hey, Reed, I support him. He's on many of my teams.
All right, Jeff Pratt, you got the 40th and the 41st pick. We're in the 40s now. Where are you gonna go?
Well, I was ready to take DJ Moore. I had his signed jersey right here. So now I got to toss it
away. Weird flex. Okay.
Yeah, he sent it to me personally, obviously. I'm going to go with 2 wide receivers here. I wish I could take another running back, but, we're not filling out the bench here.
You can't.
That wouldn't exactly make sense right now. DJ Moore was my pick. Obviously didn't fall to me, so I'm going to go a little bit younger. I'm going to take a page out of Colin's book here. And I went down to Miami. I talked to Coach Mike McDaniel. I talked to Jalen Waddle. He's ready to go. That lower body injury, he's fine. He's going to be ready to go week 1 against my Patriots. He's going to kill them, unfortunately, in Miami. And I think the presence and addition of Tyreek Hill, I'm not the biggest Tua guy, but I think Tyreek Hill across the top is going to open up so much for Jalen Waddle. I trust Mike McDaniel to just get him the ball early and often. He's going to see a ton of touches. I think he'll easily go over 100 receptions this year. PPR machine. This is PPR format. So I will go with Jalen Waddle for my first pick. And then at the term, I'm going to go a little bit older here. I went for a younger wide receiver last time. So I'm going to take a guy who has entered a situation with by far the best quarterback of his career. It's Allen Robinson with the LA Rams.
Yeah.
I think there are better receivers on the board at this point, but I'm not sure there's a better situation. Sorry, Emerson. I'm not sure there's a better situation than Allen Robinson is in right now. We saw what Robert Woods did when he hit his groove with Matt Stafford as the Rams wide receiver 2 last year. Allen Robinson, obviously, is coming off a really down year. I don't blame any of that on him whatsoever. He was playing under Matt Nagy. Enough said there. So Allen Robinson, I think he is a perfect bounce back candidate. I'm happy with him as my wide receiver 3.
All right.
Yeah, you could take a hit when OBJ resigns there.
I was really hoping Jalen Waddle was going to fall to my turn. I think, look, Mike McDaniel uses secondary receivers as well as anyone who draws up an offense. So I was all in on Jalen Waddle, and I was hoping to catch him on the back end.
You're bummed.
I just
we
wanted
had
to know.
A lot of picks before you.
Yeah, you're not going to catch him because Jeff Pratt just drafted him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I think it's the best. That's the best pick that's gone so far. I think Jalen Waddle's going to be a monster.
Okay. Well,
thank you, Emerson, for that insight. Do you want to move on to the 42nd pick?
Matthew, you're on fire.
Dude, this is a good day for me. This is a really
All right,
good day.
Chinmay, you have the 42nd pick.
I'm surprised the ref didn't throw a flag there. He's been getting a lot of
Ref
action.
slacking. The ref slacking.
He's sleeping on the job.
I am the ref. Apparently, I am the host and the ref.
Should you throw the flag on the ref?
You can't call everything in a game. You just
Give
can't
me
call
the flag.
everything. It's too terrible.
There we go. Back to the
You're
draft.
out of order.
This is a really disappointing pick for me because I typically tend to not associate with this franchise at all, and really don't want to have anything to do with them. But I can't pass up the upside here. This guy's going to play with, again, similar to DJ Moore, play with the best quarterback that he's ever played with, and it's not saying much, but it should be enough to get the job done here. I'm going to go with Terry McLaurin as the Commanders wide receiver here.
Best quarterback.
And add
Are
him.
we sure Taylor Heineke's not better than Carson Wentz?
We're not,
yeah.
actually.
No, he's not.
Good call, Jeff with the J.
He 100.
Thank you, Jeff.
100% is. Good pick, Chinmay.
Chinmay, man, yeah, that was just terrible. They're going to get smoked in week 1, by the way, by America's team. Steven, you're up, dude. 43.
Stevie
Oh,
Superstar.
Stevie Superstar. My bad.
Thank you, Jesse. You got it. If I'm going with the Jeff Pratt mentality, I should be drafting somebody like Michael Carter because I have his autographed rookie card. So that should be the pick, right? But I'm not doing that. I'm drafting the man who's going to be taking his job after week 4 in Breece Hall, the Iowa State product coming out from there. So much upside with this kid that they're talking about here. Can get out of the backfield, over 4,500 total rushing scrimmage yards from him over with Iowa State. Obviously, Michael Carter is going to get the start to start the year, but this doesn't look like that's going to be something that's going to be sustainable. So with the way that the Jets are, which usually doesn't make any sense, I still think Breece Hall has a ton of upside here. He'll be my RB2 for this year.
All right, Pierce. I'm so happy you are back and you are on the clock at 44.
All right.
Did he leave?
I'll keep it safe. I'll take Deontay Johnson, best quarterback that he's ever had as well with these other guys.
You're playing it safe? Okay.
Yeah, he's been putting up decent numbers with Ben Roethlisberger as his quarterback. So I think Trubisky is an upgrade over the version that we got in the past, or even if the rookie starts, that's a better situation. And that offense is probably going to constantly find itself in shootouts in the AFC North. You got a lot of really good offenses. I think he's just got a very safe floor. So, I was leaning towards DK Metcalf, but I'm not going to quite go out on a limb. Got to keep it safe with this team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, it would be crazy to go out on a limb with one person.
Be catching touchdowns from Kenny Pickett. That's going to be exciting, Pierce Dietrich. Our ref, by the way, is a Pitt guy.
All right, Chirag, you got Austin Eckler, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Javonte Williams, Mike Williams, a lot of Williams. Are you going with for 45th pick?
Yo, I stacked the Williams
Jameson
and I
Williams.
stacked the Chargers, but I'm going to go with here A.J. Dillon. I believe that there's going to be an opportunity for both running backs to be on the field, plenty. And as the coach said, this is 1A and 1A. Going to be from A.J. Dillon. We saw him have a monster year last year. He closed out as the top running back. I just think that there's just too much upside here. And because of the PPR format, I do believe that Aaron Rodgers is going to throw a lot to A.J. Dillon, just setting up really easily for me to get that running back in my flex spot.
Jeff Pratt a little nervous about that. He's got Aaron Jones, hoping, AJ is the RB1 there, but likely wrong. Reed. Devonta Adams is on your team. I believe some of you guys mentioned stacking is important when it comes to best ball. Is this the time now you take Mr. Carr as your quarterback?
He better
No,
not.
Emerson. With that large of a head, I think you would have a little bit more brain matter in there. Come on. There's no way.
We've
Derek
already
Carr,
been over this.
You can take Derek Carr in round 18. I'm not taking Derek Carr right here. Look, I mean, Sherrod's got a couple of committee backs. You need them to potentially win out the job. Don't ever believe coach talk. 1A, that's not even possible. You can't give 120%. You can only give 100. So I'm actually gonna go here at George Kittle, because you take a look at tight ends, tight end 5, George Kittle, tight end 6. It's a pretty steep drop off. And I get it. He's really good at blocking. Trey Lance is a running quarterback. I understand that. But at the same time, you got to shore up that position. Jeff was kind of right, but George Kittle here at tight end 5, I love this pick.
It's the biggest compliment he's ever
Okay.
given me, saying I was kind of right about something.
It's true.
I'm going to mark that one down.
Jeff, Are you going to be kind of right about your 47th pick? I don't know.
Oh my God, Sherrod just body bagged me by taking AJ Dillon. My whole strategy was getting AJ Dillon. AJ Dillon's going to lead the league in like touchdowns this year. I think he's going to have an amazing year. That's a great pick. Damn you, Sherrod. All right, I got to go back to my wide receiver position. I'm going to fill my flex because I got to take best available now. I'm going to go with Gabe Davis. I want a piece of the Buffalo Bills.
Yes.
These guys have talked about it already. I mean, as the wide, like, again, we're projecting T. Higgins for big things. The Buffalo Bills are like it's projected to be the highest scoring team. Got Josh Allen attached to it. There's actually a scenario here where maybe Gabe Davis outscores Stephon Diggs, not necessarily through volume, but through touchdowns. He's just an electric downfield receiver. I absolutely think that this guy is. A lot of people think he's being overvalued. I'm not sure. I think that the upside for Gabe Davis this year is massive. And at the very least, I'll have him in my flex. I just want a piece of that Bills offense. So that's where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
He had that 4-touchdown game, right, against the Chiefs. That was the one that was decided by a coin toss. Colin, did he just snipe you there? I know you mentioned earlier you really like Gabe Davis.
Or did I just bluff a little bit to make sure that Jeff
or
I went up the board?
Reverse psychology.
Did that just actually happen? Hey, I'm going to go ahead and go with DK Metcalf as my much higher ranked wide receiver that's also still available on the board. The reason is that even though Geno Smith is going to be his quarterback, Shane Waldron is one of the better offensive coordinators in the NFL. He hasn't really had a chance what he likes to do doesn't really fit with what Russell Wilson did. I think with a new quarterback and somebody who can build around that actually implements that offense better, I think he'll be in a little better shape. Also, I need to get another quarterback to get into my system because I already have, I think, the highest end guy possible in Patrick Mahomes. But in a best ball format, Lamar Jackson's going to give you so many running touchdowns on so many weeks that he's going to be able to win games for you or win seasons for you by himself. So give me the huge upside and downside in a best ball format of Lamar Jackson, and I'll add that with DK Metcalf. And I don't know, guys, look at my board. I'm just taking guys that I like.
Yeah.
DK Metcalf was a great player at Ole Miss, but it seems like it's coming together a little bit here. I'm just saying maybe I just sort of found a good strategy, which is act like you don't know what you're doing and then put together a really good board anyway.
All right, so you're the first person in this draft to take two quarterbacks. Already.
Yeah.
Also, Jesse noticed something. Did you do a wardrobe change or something? Did something change?
Oh,
Wait,
there's a flag.
What is the flag for?
I'm not saying maybe.
Oh, you can't.
Two quarterbacks.
Oh, wait, there's a flag on the play. Colin, you can't take two quarterbacks.
We got to fill out the starting rosters first, man.
Not yet.
Not yet, man.
Yeah, not yet. We're just doing like the 8. Dude, you're a nincompoop
on the play.
Because we're just doing the 8 spots. We're not doing like the 12 on the bench. So right now,
fill your bench yet?
Wow.
Okay,
so what are we doing? Is this just we're gonna make him redraft again, or should we punish him?
You just have to pick someone else.
Pick someone else.
Him.
Okay. Then give me J.K. Dobbins. I'll take J.K. Dobbins as my other as another.
Oh,
running back
wow.
on the board.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
He wants that.
Okay.
Wow, that was so exciting until it wasn't. All right. Joff with a G.
All right.
Number 50. Where are you going?
I knew the rules, and I knew Colin couldn't take another quarterback there. That's why I didn't take Lamar Jackson in the 6th round. But guess what? I'm going to take Lamar Jackson in the 7th round.
Oh, my God.
What is a big strategy we talked about at the top? Stacking. Guess who else I have? It's Mark Andrews. Guess who's the wide receiver one in Baltimore? It's Mark Andrews. I get access to all the rushing touchdowns. I get access to all the passing touchdowns. The Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson stack is definitely one of the highest end. It's one of my favorite to target in best ball. And I got him. So give me Lamar Jackson for my 7th round pick.
Wow.
All right, Reed, once again, 51 overall. This is when you take Derek Carr.
No. Just like how Chin may put him. No. There's a few ways you can go. There's a lot of good receivers still on the board. I got to fill out one more because we need 3 wide receivers. I only have 2. This one, you know what? I'm going to do it. Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah.
Give me Juju. I know, like Mahomes obviously is there. Colin could have easily went with Mahomes and stacked there, but I guess he didn't. He didn't want to. But look at this guy. I mean, he was fantastic in his second year, over 1,400 yards, Pro Bowl season with Ben Roethlisberger. Now we have Patrick Mahomes. So give me Juju Smith-Schuster. I think he's going to have a nice little year here in Kansas City.
Nice little year. All right, 52nd pick. Sharag Kira is going to take.
It's been a difficult decision. I'm looking at this draft board here, just going over and over. Brandon Cooks should be safe, but he's on the Texans. Darnell Mooney should be somewhat safe, but he's on the Bears. Both those teams I don't believe will be that great this year. Contemplating a tight end. I'm giving out all my strategy. I don't know what to do. I'm going off the board, and I'm going to go Amon-Ra St. Brown. I believe that the Lions will be a much improved offense this year.
Oh,
and St. Brown's going to.
What the?
What's the flag on the play?
Hold on, we have a penalty. What happened?
What is it?
What's the penalty?
You no wide receiver flag.
Dude, you gotta pay attention.
You gotta pick a quarterback or a tight end.
Kick.
All right.
All right,
Give
so
him
yeah, you
Quarterback
gotta go
or a
quarterback
tight end. If it has to be a quarterback, then it's the obvious answer. Justin Herbert. I have Mike Williams, Austin Eckler. Let's go with the triple stack.
Damn, that's a good call.
Hey.
LA.
All right, that ended
Represent
up working out
LA
for you.
all the way.
Okay, Sharag was searching for a safe pick. Here's someone we know is going to give us one. Pierce, give us your safety pick.
I'll go a little bit out there, but I don't think this is that crazy. I'm going to get a tight end before they all start to go well. I think Dallas Goedert. I expect that Philadelphia is going to be very explosive offensively this year. They've got tons of pass catchers that teams are just going to struggle with, and Jalen Hurts has improved. That offensive line is the best of football. So he's probably not the safest tight end, but I don't know if there are safe tight ends at this point.
All right, so that leaves you with a quarterback that you will be scooping up your next time around. Bukes, you're at 54 overall. You'll have 2 picks left. I don't see your team yet, but we'll figure it out. Who are you going to pick?
Doesn't matter. It's Stevie Superstar. You don't need to know who it is. It's just all superstars. Let's go with the only guy that should be getting targets in this Texas offense, with Brandon Cooks. Obviously, the injury concern is a real thing here, but I mean, was Davis Mills really as bad as we thought? I actually thought he wasn't as bad as people were saying here, but I didn't ask you, Sharag. I was just asking the people. But Brandon Cooks in the spot. I think Brandon Cooks is in a really great in a great spot here at this position here. Obviously, when he is on the field, he's one of the better deep threats in the game. So I like Brandon Cooks here. Let's just hope he doesn't get injured. But I would say he's on the field more than Christian McCaffrey.
Wow.
All right, Chinmay, where are you going here?
There's only a few spots left for me, and I'm going to take a quarterback here. I'm going to go with the guy who had a little bit of controversy this offseason, but I think he is going to get in that study room. He is going to fill those mandatory study hours and put up some massive numbers. He was potentially the MVP last year before he got hurt. We don't know how the season would have played out, but he was in the MVP conversation through about 8 weeks. I'm going to go with Kyler Murray. Give me the guy who will get me points both through the air and on the ground.
Kyler Murray. Okay.
Awesome. All right, so Jeff Pratt.
We're trying to figure out what number we're on.
All right, dude, we were both like, hey, what
Jeff,
are we on?
we were both like.
So this is it for you, Jeff. This is 56 and 57. This will round out.
Last 2 picks for you.
You have a quarterback position and a tight end position to fill. So please fill them.
I will. And I'm going to go. I don't like the way you said that, Emerson. I'm going to go.
Me neither.
I'm going to go tight end next. And I am ecstatic with the value I'm getting on Dalton Schultz right now. He's the guy who I'm targeting pretty much in redraft leagues, regardless. Best ball. I love him too. We look at this Cowboys offense. You have CeeDee Lamb. Amari Cooper's gone. Michael Gallup is hurt. Dalton Schultz had 78 catches for over 800 yards and 8 touchdowns last year. I think he could top that this season. So I think we had guys like Goddard go off the board. I would probably take Schultz over him. I think Dalton could easily be looking at maybe a sneaky top 3 tight end finish this year. So I'm very happy with the value there. And then I wouldn't take a quarterback here if I didn't have to, if you guys weren't making me, but I will take the best dual threat quarterback left on the board. Jalen Hurts. Don't love him in real life. Love him for fantasy purposes for obvious reasons. I would have actually liked to have the Goddard Hurts stack. I was kind of hoping Schultz would have gotten taken, so I would have been able to boast that, but I'm happy nonetheless. I'll take Jalen Hurts.
Chinmay Veda, your last pick in the best ball draft is going to be who?
You know, a lot of people have mentioned stacks in best ball, and I'm a fan of stacks as well. And I think this guy is going to have one of the most high upside stacks, at least for the first 6 weeks, because DeAndre Hopkins is not going to be there in Arizona. So I'm going to go with Hollywood Brown. I think he has the highest upside of the wide receivers left here. And he's going to have a lot of home run play opportunities with Kyler Murray. So give me Hollywood Brown to round out this starting lineup.
Okie dokie. Stevie Superstar. Who's your final superstar?
So, for the last round here, even though this wouldn't be the last round of your best ball draft, I'm treating it as such. So I'm going to take somebody that's down on the board a little bit, but I think has tremendous upside this year, and that's Tony Pollard with the Cowboys. Jeff just laid out how thin this offense is going to be to start the year. James Washington, Michael Gallup not going to be on the field for the first few games. Zeke Elliott, how much are they really going to be able to rely on him? So that only is he somebody that could be potentially the RB1 as the season goes on. The amount of targets he could see, especially in the beginning of the year, could be huge because teams are going to be able to focus on CeeDee Lamb because he really is the only true option to start this year and probably moving forward. So I think this is going to be a huge spot for Tony Pollard this year. I think they're really going to try to ride him hard on the ground through the air. So I think this is a really nice spot for him in my flex spot.
Here's Dietrich. Time to round out your starting 8. It's got to be a quarterback.
It does. I open up with Jamar Chase, and I'm pretty happy to round it out with Joe Burrow as my quarterback.
Wow.
No explanation. So I want to use this time just to compliment myself on how well I've done at tracking draft. You guys are welcome.
Yes.
Thanks. Thank you, everybody.
Terrible.
You're incredible, dude. You should write a book about this experience.
Thank you.
I'm not DFSing or best balling.
Shrug, you are up next with your final pick here in our draft.
Can't screw this.
It's got to be a tight end, okay?
Well, we shouldn't tell him because he would have tried to do like a running back.
Yeah.
Well, I gave away all my strategy. I was sitting there speaking about this strategy, and you're like, well, your last pick has to be this, and your last pick has to be that. I thought we were going 16 rounds. I was ready to flame everybody, but
yeah, no.
We're not going to sit here all day.
It's important to read the rundown.
Yes, it is. I didn't read the rundown, so that is my bad. Yes, I will admit that. Let's go with Zac Ertz. As mentioned earlier, DeAndre Hopkins will be suspended to start the year. I believe that Zac Ertz, yes, he might be dust by the end of the year, but to start the year, he's going to be probably one of the top tight ends in the league. Mike Eastbound could get this rapport going with Kyler Murray, but I think that Ertz has already built that, and this offense should be in the top of the league with amount of plays that they run. So give me Zac Ertz.
Hey guys, I have a question.
Oh God.
No, if Zac Ertz catches a pass with his walker as he's going down the field this year, does it still count as reception in PPR?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's actually a point and a half with the walker.
It's actually.
That guy is so washed, he's dry clean. Get out of here. No. He's done. Absolute toast.
Sherwin waiting till the last round to come out guns blazing. Like, look,
Wow.
I kind of side with Sherwin. I get this is the last round and Shrug doesn't read the rundown, but a best ball strategy you must deploy is guys need to be not dust at the end of the year because that's when it matters the most. Right. So again, in tournament forms, and look, this is different, right? Because we're only choosing our starting lineup. So it is different, but make sure you get guys that aren't going to be dust at the end of the year, not just doing well at the start of the year. So look,
that's so interesting, Reed.
Right. There's many guys that you can pick obviously before picking your quarterback. Always wait on quarterback. Yeah. There are Twitter handles specifically named after late round quarterbacks. So you can do that. But because this guy, I think he has top 5 upside, top 3 upside, because I can't choose anybody else, I'm going Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, I'm going Trey Lance. Enough said. Roll the tape over the last, 2 months with Marine O'Rourke talking about this guy, MVP candidate. Absolutely. Stacking with George Kittle, rookie quarterbacks. I know it's his second year, but it's his first year starting. Love their tight ends. So give me Trey Lance.
Reed's entire team
Jimmy G is
ready to call a wambulance at any moment during this season.
Had Jeff not already scooped Lamar Jackson, it would have 100% been Jeff's pick. is Trey Lance.
No,
also, Jimmy G will be starting by week 7.
Ooh.
We can run all of Trey Lance's tape because he's taken what? How many passes has he thrown in the last 2 years?
This is not college best ball. This is NFL best ball.
Counting his last season at NDS, counting his last season at North Dakota State, which
Go to
was
Starbucks,
one game.
Go to Starbucks, get your latte.
2.5 years. Okay.
Go to Starbucks, get your latte.
Okay, Jeff. Make your pick, Jeff.
Okay. I've RB'd myself into a corner here, so I've got to take whatever edges are left of the RB pool. I am going to go massive upside. I'm going to go with Ramondre Stevenson of the New England Patriots.
No.
I mean, by all accounts, he's going to be. Obviously, James White is gone. It's great. It's actually really a great situation. They've got guys on IR. They've cut a couple guys. Like no one else has really worked out. Like it's Ramondre Stevenson, it's Damian Harris. And there's a chance here that Stevenson is the guy. You look back when he was the bell cow back for a couple games last year. Scored 4 touchdowns. He had a couple 100-yard games. There's all the talent in the world. The Patriots had a top 10 RB last year in Damian Harris. If Stevenson jumps into that role, again, we could be looking at a top 10. This is the kind of chances you need to take when you go high on the wide receiver position, obviously. But you always go for the upside. Ramondre Stevenson brings the most of it for me.
All right, that's the first Patriot off the board. There are some reports that he's going to overtake Damian Harris as RB1 there, but I don't know. We all know this. Like
also doesn't
running
have a
backs in the backfield for the Patriots. Like I don't know. You may have like 3 weeks where you get like 15 points out of him, and then the rest is going to be like Danny Woodhead or something.
Okay, Colin. Let's get your final pick. You've had a lot to say. You tried to go with 2 quarterbacks.
Something happened to Colin in the last
Colin's
like 20
on
minutes.
One right now.
Like he
had an
up.
outfit change. He drank another coffee.
He's choosing violence.
I changed my outfit between every pick. I don't know if you saw. I was slowly.
I said you had an outfit change.
I noticed.
Every round because we just wanted to sort of low key and then fake everybody into it, and now we're here. And I'm actually going to reach on my last pick. I'm going with Jerry Jeudy, and here's why.
What?
If you have 90 career receptions for 1,300 yards and 3 touchdowns in 2 seasons with nobody as your quarterback, and no Russell Wilson as your quarterback, and you came from Alabama and were one of the best PPR receivers I've ever seen in college, if that's even a thing, then this guy's upside is massive. Jeudy could be huge this year, especially in that offense, with somebody finally throwing him the ball that can be consistent. So, give me Jerry Jeudy, who's going to have at least 1,000 yards this season.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. Hey, guys, give yourselves a round of applause. First ever best ball draft has been complete among our DK analysts.
And now that you've watched these guys do it, everybody who's watching this, why not hop into your own best ball draft experience, huh? Check out the NFL Best Ball 3.5 Millionaire contest in the DraftKings lobby. $5 entry getting you into the contest offers you a shot at $1 million grand prize and a ticket to the Tournament of Champions semifinal. So overall, there are $3.5 million in prizes waiting to be won. So head on over to the DK lobby to check out the contest before it fills up.
Okay, so we got about like 10 or so minutes left in the show. We got a few like follow-up questions here. Sure. And let's see, Jeff Ulrich. Question for you. Colin tried to pick a couple quarterbacks.
Yeah, he did try.
Before filling out his roster. Like, is that a strategy that is worth a shot?
So you don't want to waste too much high draft capital on quarterbacks, like for your second quarterback, because obviously to fill out a full best ball team, you need 2 quarterbacks, right? I mean, you need at least 2. I do like the double elite, like going double elite tight end, double elite quarterback. If you are going for your second quarterback, always look to correlate. If you got a big name wide receiver, like for me, for my team, I have AJ Brown there. Jalen Hurts is still on the board. If Jalen Hurts fell probably one more round, I would absolutely be looking to spend up to get that double stack there. Then I'd have Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, Jalen Hurts, and AJ Brown. So look to correlate. But you don't necessarily need to go high. You can go cheap. You know, guys like Daniel Jones has cheap wide receivers like Kenny Golladay, Wan'Dale Robinson to stack with too. So that's how I'm looking to spend at quarterback.
Yeah, by the way, Jeff Pratt ended up taking Jalen Hurts with his last selection.
Yeah, well, never
in
mind.
This draft.
Everything I said was crap then.
Okay, well, I mean, could that be our last penalty flag that has been thrown? You guy can't even analyze correctly.
Okay, I have something here. Steve, so Reed mentioned, he was like, you got to make sure that you're drafting guys who aren't going to be dust at the end of the season. And then he proceeded to draft the most injury-prone lineup I've ever seen in my life. So what do we think about that?
Wow. I mean, talk about two ends of the spectrum there, but on the premise of what he said is correct though, because especially at the end of the year, that's when you're making your money, right? That's when you need your guys at their best, because that's when you're looking to, either move on or be eliminated in these tournaments here. So it's so critical that some of these guys, even like looking at their schedules too, like do some of these guys have an easier schedule in the second half of the year? Because that's really, the time where you want these guys to be playing their best, because that's when you're going to be either moving up and down the ranks if you do make the playoff format. So that is something to definitely consider too. And also guys on buys too. That's also something you want to take a look at, as well as you don't want some of your key players on buys later in the year when you're playing in some of your best
playoffs format.
Yeah, playoffs. Thank you. Playoffs. Thank you.
There you go.
Reed, do you have a comment on your own strategy?
Yeah,
do you have a
yes,
comment
I
on your
do,
own
Jesse.
strategy?
Injury prone. Let's really dissect what injury prone means. I get what you're talking about. Look at my team.
Oh,
right? We
God.
got CMC, Saquon, and who else? George Kittle, maybe Leonard, Uncle Leo, that hasn't really had a ton of injuries, but
Juju.
Juju. But like what I'm saying is like the
Saquon,
guys you don't want
McCaffrey,
someone that necessarily is going to be like starting, but they're not producing a lot or has a chance to lose their job, right? That's what you have to really consider, especially in the playoffs come weeks 15, 16, and 17. And another extremely useful best ball strategy is on week 17, you look at the game matchups. And that's what I was mentioning at the top, where it's more like DFS. You want to look at the game stacks, right? Like the Chiefs and the Broncos are playing. So if you go Mahomes early or Juju, then you bring it back with like Judy and Russ Wilson. That's what you want, right? You want those game stats that you could think could be high scoring games, because then you get multiple outs and multiple multipliers for your lineup. That's what I was talking about. Less of like, are the guys going to stay healthy? Because anybody can get hurt in the NFL. Come on, Jesse.
So Colin,
Sherrod
was called for one of the many penalties during our draft today. He tried to go wide receiver on his bench before even drafting a quarterback. When it comes to your bench in this, because again, we just did the starting eight. There's 12 more bench positions. When it comes to the bench, which position are you loading up on?
Oh, I think running back, just because, the variance is so high, the injuries are so high as the season goes along. One of the things that I was actually looking at as we had gotten deeper in the draft is I want teams that in week 16 and week 17 are playing soft opponents. And that's why, and especially with Deshaun Watson potentially coming back as well, which whatever you think about that, he's going to be the starter in week 16 and 17 for Cleveland. There's 16 and 17 games are against New Orleans and Washington. So for me, I'm going to want some skill guys at those positions, because if I make the playoffs, I'm going to have so much more upside at the end to possibly to win my league. So you can get through and you can find some guys on a team like that who's got two really soft opponents in week 16 and week 17. I think it can really help you carry it towards the end of the season.
Yeah, Jeff Pratt, how do you approach constructing your bench here?
I think Colin's spot on. You need a lot of running backs. You need a lot of wide receivers. I will say, I think someone mentioned it earlier, you also have to stack up on quarterback, especially if you're going to take one later in the draft like I did. I was fortunate enough to get Jalen Hurts, but usually that's not the type of guy who I target. I like to wait a little bit longer, maybe take a Dak, maybe take a Brady even, maybe take an Aaron Rodgers. And when you have quarterbacks in later rounds, you need to stack up on other potential starting quarterbacks, because injuries happen, especially with tight ends too. You need to get more tight ends, but stacking up on backs on your is absolutely my number one piece of advice. I also like taking guys who might eventually take over the backfield. Obviously, Dameon Pierce has now become the established starter, but a couple of weeks ago, you could get him in the 13th, 14th round of some drafts, and he's going to be an absolute stud this year. So just taking guys with high upside later on, but also making sure you're getting enough depth around to plan for injuries.
Yeah, a guy who was an absolute stud last year before being injured was Chris Godwin. He's coming back from this ACL injury. So Chinmay, taking a guy like a Chris Godwin or like a DeAndre Hopkins, we're going to miss maybe the first chunk of the season, like late in the draft. Is that something that you'd be interested in?
That's something that you definitely look at, and something to keep in mind when you are going through these drafts is to look at those guys who could be hurt early in the season but come back or eventually gain steam as the season moves along. Another guy who could be in that category is Michael Thomas. He's banged up a little bit at the beginning of the year, but if he comes back healthy, we know what Michael Thomas can do and is capable of, especially in the PPR league. I do disagree a little bit with what Colin and Jeff said. I actually think wide receiver has the most scoring variance week to week, just because of the touchdown variance that you get throwing the football. So with my bench, I would really go heavy wide receiver. You still want some running back depth, obviously, but I would really go heavy wide receiver because those are the guys that I think are more likely to kind of juggle around your lineup a little bit week to week with the scoring variance and touchdown variance. That's how I would approach my bench. And some of those guys that you mentioned, like Hopkins and Michael Thomas and Chris Godwin, those are guys who would be candidates there.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off there, Chime, but to go off of what you were saying, rookie wide receivers as well. Like the rookie wide receivers, especially late in the season, that's how you want to fill up your draft. And look at these wide receivers coming out of college, and Colin can speak to this because that's all he basically watches, is like these guys are pro ready. They're in pro offenses already. So Chris Olave, right? Like there's a ton of guys right now in situations that could, towards the end of the season, really pan out that you can get late in your draft.
Pierce, final thoughts here. Do you like the start of your team? Does it feel like some safe choices to you?
Yeah, he is
Why
really
safe. I feel like you guys were hoping we would run out of time before you had to call on me.
That is not true, Pierce. Have you ever heard of saving the best for last?
No, Pierce is kind of onto something. So we're going to do Pierce and then we're going to do Chirag.
Yeah, I did sit here and wait patiently. Yeah, I like my team. It's very safe. I don't think we're going to be home run hitters, and that might hurt me because I don't have a lot of like explosive players that are really going to possibly win late in the season. But this is a team that could win week by week. I'm pretty happy with every single player that I got. There's no risks there whatsoever. But these guys are right. You need to take risks. You need to take high volume guys. You need to have the guys that are going to explode from week to week. I don't really have that. I mean, I've got that in Chase and Burrow, but overall, my safety may be just too safe, and whatever.
The Burrow Chase stack. Let's not downgrade Pierce's team too much here. The Burrow Chase stack is
very.
I can win you a week on its own. That's a great stack to target. I mean, you should be targeting.
Pierce's new team name is the Steady Eddies.
I like Chirag. You would 100% do this differently, like draft your team differently if you could, right? Because you tried to go with another wide receiver.
Chirag thought we were going 16 rounds.
Chirag's like, dude, I'm here till 3:00.
Yeah, ready to roll. But the only thing that I would do differently is I usually wait for a quarterback, and Jalen Hurts is probably the top guy, and then Trey Lance. I like mobile quarterbacks that accrue rushing yards in addition to their passing yards, so that's where I would wait. But since it is 3 wide receivers, that is where I would look to fill out the depth of my lineup. I already have 3 strong running backs, so not worried about that. If one has an off week, he can pop into the RB2. If not, he can pop into the flex spot. So I would look to really stack the remainder of my lineup with more wide receivers so that it can be because of the 3 wide receiver setting.
Okay, guys, to wrap up the show, all of our producers are here. They're in the other room, and they have
a lot of cooks in the kitchen.
Sweat Best Ball Draft producer superlatives for each team. So
yeah, they've handed out 4 here, guys.
Yeah, 4 rather. So most injury prone is going to read. And I didn't come up with this. The producers in the back.
McCaffrey, Barkley, Juju, Kittle.
The producers all live in the past.
Yeah.
You got to look forward here. Like Brooks Koepka said, you can't live life in the rearview mirror.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Give out the next one.
Best rushing potential, according to our producers, Chinmay. You have Henry, you got Cook, you got Mixon there, right? You went 3 running backs like right off the bat.
All right.
So congratulations.
Best PPR potential is going to Jeff Pratt's team. You got Swift, Naji Harris, Aaron Jones, Waddle, Evans. So congrats, Jeff Pratt.
And then stacks for days, Chirag Hira with Herbert, Mike Williams, and Eckler. I believe you referenced that when rounding out your team. So congratulations to you guys for these fake awards.
Yes, very creative.
Not everybody gets a trophy today. I'm sorry.
All right, but that's a show. We did it.
We did it, everybody.
First annual.
First annual. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to do this again, but we're
going to do
the first ever, the only ever. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We're off on Monday. Everybody have a safe Labor Day weekend. And we're back Tuesday because the NFL season kicks off next week. Bills and Rams on Thursday night. We're talking a boatload of football, DFS, and sports betting here. So join us Tuesday morning, 11 o'clock Eastern time. We love you. We mean it. And thank you very much, Mr. Referee. You have been handsome and perfect all show long. Look how
relax.
He can't talk, but he's been here.
I'm sorry.
Hit him with the flag.
Well, you're supposed to take us home.
Yeah.